Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with a weekly news and review for February 28th, 2021. We've got a lot of great news going on this week. A lot of new reveals, a lot of Transformer stuff, a lot of Star Wars stuff, and some other stuff we're going to talk about coming up. First off, some stuff I'm seeing at Show Z. There's an upgrade kit for the 01 Studio Unicron, aka Zeta Unicron, that gives it much larger rings in the planet mode. Hey, when people are looking at the HasLab, they're saying that the Zeta/01 Studio is not as good in planet mode, and the rings are a big part of it, so this upgrade kit's kind of cool. It's $33, so it is an additional cost, and it may be available at other places, but I saw it at Show Z first, so there it is. The next thing I think is kind of interesting, and I don't know anything about it, but it's called Sentinel Toys, the Super Robot Wars, and there's 3 different figures that all combine to make bigger figures, and I think this is kind of cool. This sort of looks like it's in line with the Gundam look, maybe Macross a bit, Gundam, but it's made of plastic, ABS, and die cast, and the figures themselves are not that big, but they combine to make bigger ones. Combines with the R1, R2 powered, and to make the most powerful form, SRX. It can be formed. And it has, the R3 figure itself has the Ninduso laser cannon, strike shield, fists, open hands, closed hands, and a display stand. Here's the thing. These are ridiculously expensive, though, because they're ridiculously high end. And the cheapest one is like $209. The next one's $229, and the most expensive one's $293 if you're in on this. Also, this message that keeps popping up at Show Z, it's interesting that they've got a little bit different of an email, tb@transbots.net. I actually responded to a different email to communicate with X-Transbots, but there's this email you're supposed to send them information if you have an issue with your cup, your lock figure. Then they will fix it for you or give you instructions how to get it fixed or replaced or whatever. And I understand they're going to get quite a bit of emails in here. So hopefully they're doing another run that's more solid and they'll just send out more figures. But I'm not sure how it's going to go, but that's the email. All right, so we're going to get right into the meat of the discussion here. We have got reveals from Takara. And the thing about this is last week they said there's going to be some MPM reveal. I gotta tell you, I had absolutely no clue who they would reveal, and I never thought it'd be Optimus Prime, but now it almost makes sense that it's the Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime in Masterpiece from Takara. Very interesting that they went this route. Pretty cool. Here he is in the alt mode, and it's a decent looking alt mode. It really does look like it's from the movie, and there's probably a whole lot more about this figure that can be said, that can be discussed, maybe even a whole other video just to talk about this guy. But looking at this, you have the Matrix chamber in there, and I think he does look pretty good, sort of true to the movie. And then here he is in his box, his packaging, and that's a good looking box. It's supposed to be a Target exclusive in the US. I'm sure you're going to get it at all the normal places that you order from also. But walking into Target and seeing this on the shelf, I think it's going to be $120 at Target. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm seeing. I think that's going to be the price point on this guy. Now, my question is, which one's going to be better, this one or Toy World? That's my big question. I mean, we've already got so many of these in the market. How many people are going to be out on the Takara? Well, I know a lot will be because it's official, but how many more are going to be out on Takara when we have Toy World out there and all these other ones going on? Be kind of interesting. Next up in the Masterpiece world, in the Takara world, we have Skids. Pictures of the actual prototype of Takara Skids and compared to X-Transbots. And I think that's the biggest question here. Which one looks better? Do we need this, or did X-Transbots already do a good enough job? And do we need the $80 X-Transbots, which is what I paid for mine, or the $160 Takara, or will it be $180 by the time it comes out, or more, who knows? But which one looks better? And I think that the X-Transbots one actually does look pretty good. It holds up. Now, there is supposed to be something going on with Skids that they had some sort of term that they used. It's supposed to be a more simplified transformation, is my understanding, and they're supposed to be going in a new direction with the Masterpiece line. So we haven't heard any more about that ever since they announced it, but it's something interesting to look forward to. Maybe it will be a simpler transformation. Maybe we won't have the problems we had with Hound. Who knows? And I'm hoping for that. But here it is with the good old Cheebs Digibash. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've seen 3 or 4 Digibashes on this in the last few days. And I think that this, of course, Cheebs is the master, and he's been doing it for a long time. But this looks pretty good. But again, some people are saying it's not very tune accurate. I got to look into it, try to find the cartoon scene, the one scene he's in. But there it is with a Digibash colored version of the prototype. So G Creation is putting out their version of Sixshot in the metallic recolor. I don't know exactly when this is coming or pricing information on it or not, but I'm kind of excited about the recolor. I heard a lot of good things about this figure. I heard that it holds up really well, it transforms really well, and I think that Sixshot's a figure that can be a bit stylized and get away with it, and in fact may look more interesting because he's more stylized. But I also love metallic and I like shiny things, so it looks pretty cool. I've never handled the figure before. I've just heard good things about this, and when I was looking into mine, Sixshots, I went ahead and went with Fans Toys, but I was thinking about this guy too, and this guy is big. He's a big figure. So again, Sixshot's a big figure. The original G1 Sixshot was a big figure, and this might be a really awesome release from G Creation. Okay, so I don't really know everything about this company that's making this figure, but it looks like a Fembot Cyclione, and it looks cool. A purple Fembot that transforms into a really awesome motorcycle. And this figure looks great. It looks great in both modes. They emphasize 0 parts forming. There's the site that's selling it's called Good Smile, but here she is more in a dynamic action pose. Now you do kind of see some kibble on her. Now it's kind of hard to get away with making a really sleek Fembot and not have some kibble, but again, the kibble's hidden in the back really well, and for the front it looks pretty good. It doesn't hinder articulation, and the motorcycle mode is amazing. That is awesome. Now there's no media tied to this. It's purely just a transforming bot, but I thought it was pretty cool, and it's at a site called Good Smile. And I think the price is going to be around $80, but it's a purely import thing, so it's like 8,000 yen. So we've got some pictures of the Flames Toys Megatron, and this thing does look pretty mean. This is, I think it's a recolor of one they've already got out. Maybe I'm wrong. This thing does look pretty good. I have to admit, I truly have not kept up with Flames Toys as well as I should, but you can attach these wing pieces, these back pieces, and then make them look really mean and menacing, and this dude does look awesome. The thing about Flames Toys, they do not transform. They're kind of expensive. This is the Kurikari model form. This is not the bigger Flames Toys one, so it is going to be the smaller version, but he does look really good. I like the paint scheme. I like everything about the way it looks, and even though I'm not really 100% sure about the media it's tied to, I think it looks great. So 3.0 is teasing an image of a deluxe version of the Revenge of the Fallen Jetfire. So MPM style of non-transforming version of Jetfire right here. We're going to see a little more of Jetfire soon, but that's coming up in the Chug area. But it's going to look good. It's going to look great. It's going to be great quality materials. I guess we'll just look forward to seeing what it actually looks like in real life. I like the original G1 Jetfire a lot. This Jetfire, I think there are good elements to it, and I do like the combining parts, but I doubt you'll be able to combine his parts with anything with this particular version. So if you missed out on the Soul of Chogokin, Voltron, and the last 2 times they've released it, it's getting reissued again for the 3rd time. Here's the thing, it is that popular, it is that good, and if you want to get it, check all the usual suspects, the usual places to order this, like BBTS and around there. I went ahead and pre-ordered one through BBTS. I actually settled for the KO version, and just looking at the pictures side by side, I really want the original, so I guess I'll go ahead and drop the money for the original. It's twice what I paid for the KO, but it's going to be better, and maybe I'll sell my KO, who knows, or maybe I'll just keep them side by side, but I'm kind of excited for it. So getting into a little bit of Legends news, and when I say little, I'm not talking about just the size, but there's not much news going on in Legends right now. But I want to say that this New Age Galvatron, I think it's Darius, is a pretty good figure. I've heard nothing but good things about this figure. I don't have it yet because I pre-ordered the shinier one because I like shiny things, the EX version. I know it's like another like $10 more, but I think it'll be worth it when it comes in. I just want the shiny one. And I don't want to rebuy it and try to sell my old one. I'm kind of done with that kind of, I'm done with those days. I just want to get what I want, and the shiny one's what I want. But I'm hearing it's actually good in both modes, so I'm hearing a lot of great things about it, and a lot of people are putting it with their Unicron display, which again, great idea. And New Age is a little bit smaller on the small size, but I understand this is about the same size as Magic Square kind of stuff. I think New Age has been stepping up into a larger scale as they're progressing. So we'll see how it goes when I finally get mine. So one thing that I find kind of interesting is that we're going to have the War for Cybertron Kingdom in July. So the series will be out in July on Netflix to watch it. It seems like it's coming out way faster than we saw back in the day. It seemed like it took forever for the Machinima series to come out from one to the other, and then it seemed like it took a long time to go from Siege to Earthrise, but a very short time frame to get to Kingdom. But maybe that's advanced planning, and I think it's a good thing to have the media alongside with the stuff in the store, not to have the stuff in the store and then a year later get the show. But anyhow, I'm looking forward to it. I think that it's good. Maybe it's not the greatest thing ever, but it's good, and it's good enough to enjoy at least once. So the X-Men crossover, the Ultimate Expanse figure, it's almost like it dropped off the face of the earth and now it's back on the face of the earth. People talking about it, but I didn't realize why it was going to be an expensive figure until I see the size of this thing, and it's big. Like, this guy is pretty big, and I think that's kind of cool. They went the route to make a bigger figure, but I can't really figure out like what figure they based it on. Like, I'm still scratching my head. What figure did they base this on? So maybe I'll have that figured out sometime by the end of the day, but still can't figure it out. I mean, I have no idea. Now, obviously, it was Jetfire, but it is kind of cool that they did it. I mean, it's a thing that they're doing. It's not for me, but it's for some people. There are a group of people that really want this, and there's a huge amount of collectors out there for Marvel Legends. Maybe they're going to be in on crossing over too. But here is the packaging, the very, very retro-esque looking packaging. And it looks pretty cool. I'm interested if you're in on this, if you're getting it, or if you're getting two. Let me know in the comments below. So I happened to stumble across Wave 2 of these Headmasters. Now I will tell you, I am an absolute hypocrite, because when I saw these announced, I said, why? There's no reason to make these. Why? But they look so good in the packaging, I had to buy them. I just couldn't say no. But it's weird, they're repacking Hardhead, so I think that's gonna like clog up shelves a little bit. He's not a bad figure, but I just don't think that figure's gonna move well enough to be a repack. But again, I don't see an abundance of these anywhere. It's almost like they're short packing this. They're only sending 1 or 2 cases per store, so they're actually kind of hard to get at this point. I don't know if that's going to change in the future, but I thought that was odd. But I love the packaging. I love me some G1 retro packaging. Even if I have this figure already on a different card bag, I would have rather it come in this, and I'd rather them why not just going forward, put all figures in this package? Why not? What's it going to hurt? I'd love to see it. So we've got some updated pictures of the Generation Selects Volcanicus, or the entire Dinobot team. Now, why is this important? Because we're not sure if Hasbro is going to do any other Dinobots. Like, they did a slam dunk, in my opinion, with the Grimlock, and I'd love to see the rest of the Dinobots at that scale. but I doubt it. I doubt they're going to do it. And they should. They really should. But I doubt they're going to do it. Anyway, here it looks as a team in Dino mode, which, again, it's one of those things that I think more people display in Dino mode, and it's more important to have good Dino modes. And this looks like an okay team. I know Grimlock's not the best, but it's still, I think the new one they made won't scale well at all with the rest of this team. So you kind of have to just deal with the original Dino. This team looks good. It looks more like the original G1 toys than the previous releases. Here they are in bot mode, and again, Grimlock is too big, and he is not the best version of Grimlock they've ever made, but still, as a team, I think it looks pretty good. And for all 4 of you that are going to display it in this mode, there is that mode for you to see. Now, I didn't really know if I should have stuck this in Legends or stuck this, I don't know where to put this, but Jazai Toys making 3D printed Megatron here, and I'm not sure what this is supposed to be for. I don't know what it's really, really small, and it transforms into a gun-ish esque type, but I think it's kind of cool. I mean, Megatrons that turn into guns and are small enough to be used by other characters, I think are cool. And I'd like to see a little bit more, maybe a little bit more work, maybe a couple of add-ons to it or something. But still, it's an interesting idea. I do like it. They're also doing a G2 Blue tank, which is a G3? I don't know. But anyway, here it is with this tank. And it's just interesting how they're doing this. And they are small. They are real small. And I think they're even sub-Legends small. But I'm not sure. I need more information on this. This is just kind of some early type of stuff. Matrix Workshop has an upgrade kit for the Blur with a gun, and I guess it's a Target Master for them. So, you know, that's the thing. Like, why did we not get a Target Master with our Blur? Well, I mean, the Blur looks okay, got super giant forearms, but I'm just kind of curious, like, why do we keep having to upgrade everything we get from Hasbro? Even if it's good, it's still not great, and I'd love to see the day we don't have to upgrade anything from Hasbro. I think we might see the day, but then again, I might just be an Optimus in my prime. So we've got some interesting random stuff going on. So Icon Heroes has released their Karate Kid Daniel LaRusso and their Johnny figures. I think they look good, but they're $40 a piece. Now, I saw them at my local comic shop today. They look great. I would love to have these on the shelf. I'm not dropping nearly $100 for the set. It's just not worth it to me. But I want NECA to do. NECA's doing some, but they don't look like this. They look like alternate versions and plain dress clothes kind of stuff NECA's going to be doing. But I would like NECA to do it simply so we can get the price point down and they can be more available, easier to get. I just don't think that this Icon Heroes is going to make enough quantity to get the price down. But they do look pretty good. I'd love to have them in my Karate Kid display. So there's a lot of random G.I. Joe news this week. And talking about this, there's going to be a new digital game in the works by Wizards of the Coast. So I don't know a whole lot about this, but I'm guessing digital. Is it not going to be cross-platform to release on all the other systems like the most recent G.I. Joe game? But anyhow, the thing about this is there are some designs that are more classic designs than we're getting with Classified or that last game. So maybe that's showing that going forward we're going to see some more classic designs coming from Hasbro. That's kind of my hope. So there's going to be a series, a standalone story centered around Lady J, which is also connected to the larger G.I. Joe universe, in production by Paramount Television Studios, E1 and Skydance Television. The thing about this is kind of a spin-off in my mind. To make this make sense, it's kind of like what The Mandalorian did for Star Wars. They're hoping Lady J does for G.I. Joe. But they don't even need to do that, by the way. I'll love to watch it. I'm not saying anything negative about it whatsoever. But G.I. Joe is so hot, they could throw anything out there right now and it's going to catch, I believe. Throw a movie out there. I know people really want the Snake Eyes movie to happen, and when that comes out, that's going to be exciting. But this is just something else fun to go right along with what's going on with Classified, what's going on with Retro, and hopefully we get the movies. And one other big news deal is a reveal of a Mezco Destro. And he's going to be the 6-inch. He's going to be a super classic design. I think he looks pretty good. I personally would have liked a really chromed head. I don't know if maybe it will be chromed by the time it comes out, but it looks like it's just silver paint. Again, that's my disappointment on it. Aside from that, I think he looks pretty good. And this is interesting for the fact that they're making this to almost compete directly with Hasbro. But Mezco's not going to compete on price. So it's going to be way more expensive. I'm hearing like $70 or something like that for this guy versus $20. I guess I'll just be happy with my $20 version of this guy. But he does cheese it a bit with the cheesy picture he's got. That head sculpt is so weird. I'm not really sure what episode that's from, but anyhow, it's something that's out there. So there's actually some really good Star Wars news this week. We're getting the Wrecker from the Bad Batch, and at first I saw the Bad Batch when I watched, was it season 7 of the Clone Wars, and I knew they were going to make a bunch of figures for it, but I'm surprised it took this long to announce them and get them out. But they're pretty cool, and it's kind of something that is in the Star Wars universe. You can feel it from the Star Wars universe, but it's a new take on it, and it's something I actually kind of like. So I pre-ordered the first two. I need to pre-order this guy. Pulse sold out fast, and now Pulse and I do not jive anymore, so I probably will just stop ordering from that place. But truthfully, GameStop's got me covered, so why do I care? But this guy is really good looking. He's big. He's deluxe. He is $30, but I knew it. I knew it from the get-go. The bigger dude was going to be $30. So the Bad Batch series will premiere on May the 4th be with you day, May 4th. And that's kind of interesting. We're going to see kind of a spin-off from the Clone Wars cartoon era. And they've got all these figures coming out with it. So it's going to be pretty interesting. They're definitely going to make every figure in the Bad Batch. They're going to make them all. They're going to make them probably in the vintage collection soon. Also, who knows? Who really knows? But I do think these figures look pretty cool. I think the series will be kind of fun. And it's an interesting story to kind of go down that path. I'm looking forward to it. My kid's looking forward to it. So we're going to check that out come May 4th. Now we did get some vintage collection reveals. We've got Lando and we've got the IG-11. Again, Lando looks pretty good. My eye is drawn to the cut in his abs to his chest. And I know that's for articulation, but that's like what catches my eye right away. But aside from that, everything else on the figure looks great, and I do like Lando. I really do like this version of Lando. I know the General Lando, there's lots of the General Lando out there, but he is sort of needed in the vintage collection. Also, the IG-11, I mean, of course you want to round out, you're going to have to put him next to your 6 Cara Dunes that everybody's accumulating for whatever reason. But yeah, you got to have your Mandalorian set up and ready to go, and IG-11's got to be part of it. So let me know what you think about this week's weekly news and review. What reveals did you like? What else did I miss that's out there and is going on in the world? I'd like to know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Titanium Hanger out.